I never really did decide. I didn't. I mean, I started studying acting, after I got out of college in New York, and but that was never really a decision to be an actor. I mean, I just was kind of curious about it, and didn't know what else to do with my life at that particular time. So, I'd always loved books and movies and stories, and sort of losing myself in fictional stories. So I thought, well, this is kind of interesting, and I want to try to see if there's a way that I can bring myself to it. So my first role I got, I started doing TV commercials. Those were sort of the first couple of things that I did, and the first real acting job that I had was an episode of a half-hour comedy called Wings, and that was one of those 3-camera in front of a live audience shows. And so I flew to Los Angeles, and at the time, my wife and I, we were really big fans of that show, and we watched it quite a bit. So we knew the cast well, and so I went to Los Angeles and spent a week with this cast that I was a fan of, so it was really and I was so nervous and afraid of messing up and not doing well. So it was a really nerve-wracking week, but they were wonderful. That whole cast made me feel as comfortable as possible. And then, on the Friday night, the live audience comes in and you do the taping and everything. And it was exciting. I'll never forget that. Oh, both those experiences were really fantastic chapters of our lives. I mean, Party of Five and Charlie. That show was really the show that made Margarita and I move from New York to Los Angeles. At the time, we were living in New York, and we really loved it there. And so when that show got picked up and was going to have some sort of run, we had to leave New York and go to Los Angeles. And so really, Party 5 for me was, really all about living in Los Angeles and learning so much, because I really was still very new to acting on film and working with the sort of technical aspects of making television. And so I really look at Party 5 as sort of like graduate school for me. I really tried to learn as much as I could about how filmmaking is done and how to be an actor in that technical world. And then Lost was a totally different, that experience was all about Hawaii for 6 years, and our kids, having opportunity to grow up when they were both really young. And obviously the success of Lost was sort of more of a global phenomenon. Party 5 was pretty successful in the United States, but it didn't really have the global thing that Lost had. So, and I really enjoyed playing both characters. I mean, I feel really fortunate to have been cast in both of those characters, and and particularly the Jack Shephard role, which I just feel like, even though it was a 6-year television show, I was given an opportunity to do many, many different things with Jack, and there was sort of a huge evolution to the character. And so, they were really good experiences. This was just I've never played a role like this, and I was really, it offered just a bunch of different challenges that I hadn't really done before, and I'm always looking for that, and I think we'll continue to look for this, look for different things and look for things that I haven't done, and this role, Picasso, provided that. I mean, it was just an incredibly intense and straight up like movie villain, like just a really flashy and sort of almost over the top movie villain. I really had never done anything like lose a lot of weight, and I really felt that was important for the role. I really genuinely have my reasons for feeling that that's the way that this guy would look, just the way that his mind works. And so there was that challenge, and then there was the challenge of trying to figure this guy out, and and both repulse the audience and make them sort of afraid and repulsed and sort of disgusted by this guy, but at the same time sort of being drawn to him in some way, and sort of, it was just a lot of challenges involved, and well, yeah, there was a lot of training involved, and I like that stuff, the cage fighting stuff, and the weapons training, and there was a lot of things in that I really enjoyed. Cine en línea. Go see Alex Cross. I think you'll enjoy it.